Sean Zittel and Radio Raheem, of course, joined by Brandon Colantonio, the People's Champion, February 21st last month on the Ryan Garcia Mario Barrios card here at the T-Mobile in Vegas. Yeah, and
Yeah,
Brandon, man, did you get a lot of feedback on your post-fight interview with Chris Mannix that night, and on your
I did. I
performance?
did. A lot of a lot a lot of people were loving the post fight interview, and a lot of people were loving the performance because I think no one expected me to come out and do that and have like a really good last couple rounds like that. And I just felt like I was getting started, So I feel like I'm more of a 10 to 12 round fighter, and it would have been nice to have 10 rounds, but you just take your opportunities when they come, right?
Yeah, Sergio Mora said, I don't think Colantonio is going to go past the first round when he gets hit with the
Yeah,
first right hand, and then Josh Edwards hits you with a monster right hand, and you
yeah,
didn't go anywhere. So you actually made a fan out of Sergio Mora that night too.
yeah. It's crazy with him. With I could actually hear them commentating, so it's kind of funny how, just I could see the story kind of going. They couldn't believe that I was still in there, and but Josh Edwards, we knew we hit hard, and we were just prepared to, stay away from that power hand. And obviously, I got hit a couple times, but you know, we tried to execute the game plan as best we could. We wanted to finish, and I started landing at the end. So, like I said, it just felt like I was just getting started, and it just my coach always has a saying, you know, uh, it's like I never really lost a fight. I just ran out of time, right?
You know,
Is that Michael Jordan?
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
or the '99 Rams, Raheem, or the '99 Titans when Kevin Dyson on the 1 yard line, and they said they didn't lose, they just ran out of time against the.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I just one more for me, Raheem, about that interview because you said after the fight, I'm not like these other Canadians sitting on their ass waiting for a check, failing drug tests. Was that to any fighter in general, or was that just to the whole nation of Canada?
That was to a couple fighters, yeah, because I had a WBC title fight, USA title fight that I earned the opportunity to go and perform, and I fought a really game fighter actually, like Jay Bard. I actually have a lot of respect for his fighting ability, um, but there was no drug test conducted afterwards,
Hmm.
and I felt like, anytime I've gone to the Pacific Northwest, especially I fight for, outside. I fight a lot in Oregon too, and there's always been a great, like the commissions have always been upheld, and they've always drug tested and all that, and you could clearly, like, not trying to make any, I'm making a little bit of an allegation, but you could tell there was something up with him, right? And you could tell there was some stuff with him, and just how he acted and all that stuff. And to have no drug test afterwards was, to me, it was really sketch, like that's that's your you're fighting, like how I fight is kill or be killed. So I'm expecting my opponent to have the same mentality. So I think there should be some safety in fighting as well. As you should have drug testing. You should provide uh a thing being you're fighting clean, because you are in a combat sport. It's not like, you're not playing soccer. You're you're going in there and you're trying to hurt somebody really badly. So to me, like, if you're fighting with any performance enhancers, anything, any substance, that's a clear advantage. That's very not professional, in my opinion.
So, as a fighter, you're saying you saw things there that indicated to you that there may be some performance enhancing drugs at play. You get a
Yeah.
different, a unique perspective on the guy you're fighting that nobody else gets, not even his corner. So, what are you seeing that's sending alarm bells off?
Running late to, the pre-fight stuff, doing stuff like that. Like, I don't know, just the way he acted, and his eyes and all that stuff. You could clearly tell there was something not like. And I've also, known the guy for a little bit too, right? So I know, you know you just have a feeling, right? So
But are we talking
now I don't.
performance enhancing drugs? Or are we talking about recreational drugs?
I think both. I think both were at use at that time, and I and I'm not saying anything bad. I'm not trying to put anybody at blast, but I think there should be some safety regarded. I think we should have. I'm really proud in the fact that I've never done any performance enhancing drugs. I've never gone out of my way to do that. I've never even thought about it, right? And I like to be proud that I'm a clean fighter, and I think it should be more in the sport, right? But
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that okay. I mean, I'm not. Listen, I'm not trying to get you over a barrel here. You say what you say, but that's a pretty stark kind of allegation that you feel like this guy was essentially cheating, had something in his system. Like, did you feel like there was no recourse on the night? Could you not call for a post-fight drug test? Was there literally no testing, not even post-fight testing?
well, my coach, who was also that he asked for it through the athletic commission, right? So
Hmm.
now I'm not going to get into the political things and sides because I'm over it, and it is what it is, and I'm moving on. But I just I think we could we could have done a little bit better, and I know in the East they probably do that. They probably do a lot of drug testing. You know, I just think we should provide that, right? Because everywhere else I've gone, the commissions have always been on top of that, right?
Hmm.
Even in Nevada, they were asking about it, and I told them the info, and they thought it was absolutely weird that there was no drug testing afterwards after a fight like that.
Do you think there's something fishy with the commission?
No, I don't know. I'm not gonna. I don't really want to get into the political scenes, but yeah, I don't know. I think there should be something, you know, done about it. I think you could always make yourself into the best commission you could be for the fighters and the fighters that want to, uh, you know, go in there and fight for that commission or fight for a certain thing. You want to uphold that, and it's all about, to me, it's all about protecting the fighters and protecting people that are trying to perform, right?
Hmm.
Did you feel the Nevada Commission was pretty good in that regard?
Absolutely, absolutely, 100%, 100%. Drug
Nice.
tested me before, drug tested after, like great commission.
Just want to circle out of that for a second now.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. You obviously had the Italian colors on your gloves and on your trunks. You're from Canada originally,
Yep.
Canadian citizen. But I know guys like I know a lot of people defected from Italy to Canada. Arturo Gatti
Yep.
was one. He was, I believe, born in Naples. His family was from Italy, but then he emigrated to Montreal. Well, are you indeed, FBI, full-blooded Italian? And do you know what part of Italy your family came from?
Yeah, so I'm from like my family heritage. My dad's side's Italian, and that's the side I'm mostly associated with. And we come from like a little town outside of Rome called Campo and it's a really cool place. I've actually never been. I always wanted to go to Italy, and I just never had the chance to. But yeah, I'm really proud of the heritage that the Italians carry, and yeah, like Arturo Gatti, Rocky Graziano. I'm a big fan of the sport. Big, like I've watched all the classics, and yeah, it's great to represent that. And I even got some comparisons, like there's like some fan put on X that I like with me and Rocky Graziano and Jake LaMotta and Rocky Marciano. I was like so
That was
honored. Like
me.
that was such a
That was me.
like that was so cool. That was so cool.
I
Oh,
had to,
Sean.
man. We between you and Thomas Lamana, there's not a lot left, bro. I had to keep the
Yeah.
lineage going.
Yeah, like and it's really cool because Ryan Rosicki, who's a really awesome cruiserweight, he contacted me, and he's like, you're like, you and I feel like are like a rare breed of like old time fighter, and I felt that was so cool too, right? So like, it's awesome that I got the opportunity, and I'm so grateful for that, just to like, to show that and get the love. It was awesome. It's
I'm
great.
just laughing because Raheem didn't know that was me. So now he's learning for the first time and seeing
Well, it's
my
so
bias
funny
for Italian,
because
Italian
as
fight.
we all do, or at least I should hope we would, have some
Yeah,
pride in our heritage. Sean is no exception. He's a
yeah,
proud Italian. But it does bear mentioning that there really hasn't been a modern day legacy bearer for the Italian
yeah,
people in the squared
yeah,
circle. It really
yeah.
hasn't been brought forward in the modern era. That's a lot of, I don't know. Are you feeling like you still have an opportunity to be that guy?
I want to be that guy, man. I'm looking for every fight and any promoter or anybody. Like I want to carry that legacy, and I want to be I do want to come down as an all-time great when it's all said and done, And I'm really proud of my Italian heritage, and I'm grateful to like represent it on such a big stage like the Ryan Garcia card. That was awesome.
What was it that made you take the moniker the real Rocky?
You know what? It's because like I come from a really small town in Victoria. It's right outside of Vancouver, and it's an island off Vancouver. And I was like the blue collar guy. Like my coach, if you would ask him, he'd tell you like the second I went to the gym, I said I wanted to be a pro fighter. He would have never thought it would have came to this. He would never have thought I'd be fighting on a Ryan Garcia card in the T-Mobile. I just worked my ass off, right, to get
How
to
old were
where I
you?
am.
How old were you when you met
I was
when that happened?
15 years old.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
mean, Vancouver, which I love, Vancouver, Victoria Island. It's a small town, but it's not like
it
a
is.
rough town. Like, where did you end up finding yourself in a boxing gym and wanting to like fight for a living? I feel like that's not somebody stole your bike and you had to go beat them up kind of backstory.
Well, I grew up in a really, my parents were both middle class. It was a great upbringing, but I also had a little frustration as a kid, and and I needed to get it out. And I also love fighting. I watched it with my dad all the time. And when I joined the gym, I was like, these guys are like the toughest guys in the city. Like you could just tell, right? I was getting beat up every day, and I loved it, man. Like the first day, I broke my nose, right? So, like, I was like, I got to get back and keep going, right? So, I just I just kept working, and my coach literally told me from day one, just keep working because you have no athleticism at all. You need to work 10 times as hard, and that's what I did. I was there every day of the week.
Wait, hold on. You got your nose broke the first day of the gym, and you come
Yeah,
back and the coach tells you you have no athleticism at all. And to you, that was your green light. Like I found
yeah,
my
yeah. I got to work hard.
yeah. That's
I
a
got to
fight
prove him
spirit.
wrong, right? And you know what? He's like the only he's one of the only people that really truly believed in me too. So we got to give him his flowers on that, right? And he made me the fighter I am, right? Like I wouldn't be anywhere near if I didn't have the coaching from him. Like to me, he's the best coach in Canada.
So is it just because I know you said like you can go 12 rounds. People
Hmm.
did think you came on strong in the Edwards fight, but do you
Yeah.
really is ultimately the goal just to say I am a fighter? Or is it or do you really think you can get to a top 15 level and compete with those guys? I mean, every fighter has to believe that to get up and do the work it requires to be
Yeah.
a conditioned fighter. But dude, is part of you proud enough as it is with a record that's not upside down, 7 wins, 2 losses, just to say I am a fighter?
I want to be like it might sound ridiculous, but I do want to be a world champion. I think if you're in this and you're willing to take those fights, you should be aiming at that, and that I believe I will. My normal division is the new Bridgerweight division. That's where I usually fight at. But I'll take a heavyweight fight. I have no problem doing that, and whatever opportunity comes, I'll take it. I want to be the best. That's my goal at the end of the day, right? I'm not here just to, like, I wasn't going in there just going, I want to survive the Edwards. I wanted to win the Edwards fight. I wasn't there to go in to survive. I was there to win it.
Mm-hmm. And correct me if I'm wrong too. But I hear you make your living outside of the ring, also with your hands. You're a working man.
Yeah.
Could you talk about that and how much how many hours are you still able to get in the gym as a fighter when you also have your obligations outside of boxing?
Well, I'm now a new homeowner, so I got to pay a
Congrats.
mortgage somehow, right? Thank you. So, I have a property on a beautiful island on Salt Springs off Victoria as well, but yeah, I work at a disposal yard. I work at HL Disposal in Victoria, and yeah, they're very awesome with my boxing. They've always been supportive. It was, kind of like a condition. I wanted to really focus on being a pro, so they let me have the ability to do that. And yeah, I train early in the morning. Sorry, Butt Kiss just needs a toy. Um,
Is that really his name, by the way? Did you name him
no,
Butkus?
no, her
Oh,
name's
okay.
her name's Joy.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so they allowed me to pursue my boxing as well. I can take as much time as I need to go and do trips, whatever. They'll support it, and they've been actually a proud sponsor. Here's the name of the hat right there.
Nice.
Well, but yeah, and what I do is I wake up early in the morning. I do a weightlifting session. I'll go work 8 hours, go to the gym, train, sleep, repeat.
Now, Brandon, you
you
know
know.
what they say about Italians working at disposable yards and doing
Yep.
construction. You know the
Yeah.
stereotypes
Waste
with Russian
management. Waste
waste
management.
management, bro.
Hmm.
No,
You know, boxing is still a prize fighting sport, right? And
Yeah.
you got the moniker real life Rocky. You're from
Yep.
a fairly small town. There's not even a lot of Canadians really in the sport at the top level, much less Italian Canadians.
Yeah.
So I wonder, do you have maybe an opportunity to put on shows locally that you could maybe pack your island, if you will, or something like, is that a route you could go? I realize that may not take you to a world title, but in a way, you could be a hometown hero that, gets called up in
Well,
the
you
first
know what?
movie.
I kind of already am. Like that fight that I had with Jay Byard in November it was a war, man. We really put a lot of fans, like, made them happy. We sold out the Bay Street Armory, which is cool because a lot of cool fights there. And and yeah, we went out and put a hell of a show in and a hell of a night. And to me, like, the fans are always on my side, especially in Victoria. And I represent Champ Promotions, so I fight on their cards all the time. But like I said, I want the best. I want the biggest things, and I'm gonna work my ass off to get to that. So I know I got a lot of work to do. I know there's some stuff that I have to put into my game, and I know I haven't, even been at my best yet. So I just any opportunity that comes my way, I'll take it.
I know you mentioned you
You know?
work with a promoter, but a friend of ours, Thomas
Mhm.
Lamana in Jersey, he has
Yeah.
his Star Promotions. I'm just saying, he said he'd love to have you on a card out here in America too, back home in New Jersey for him. So, not to step on
Any
Champ
op-
Promotions' toes, but
any opportunity that comes, Champ and Jason Height, send it their way. They'll handle it, and I'm always ready, man. I'll take a fight on whatever weight, whatever time. Like I took the Edwards fight on 3 weeks' notice, man. So
Is
I'm
there
I'm I'm ready.
Is there a fighter who kind of has a similar path to you? Maybe like a working man, somebody who had a regular job, somebody who had success that you can pattern yourself after, or at least look to be like, hey, that guy
Well,
did
you got the comparisons to, like, Chuck Wetner and you know um Jerry Cooney's a big one, right?
mm-hmm,
So I
mm-hmm.
actually met Jerry at the fights, which is cool. And yeah, a lot of those guys, even Marciano was a bricklayer, and he tried to be a baseball player at first, right? So
I was
all
teeing you up
those.
for Joe Smith.
Yeah, exactly. Joe Smith, he works construction, man, and I'm a big fan of his, man. Like he's awesome, you know.
Yeah, so a lot of people say you can't have two jobs if you're going to be a world champion, but Joe Smith done it. He could
Yeah,
be, you know
yeah.
what I mean? I mean, he created one of the most cringe moments of our boxing pundit
I know. I'm a huge
experience.
Andre Ward fan, man.
No, Bernard Hopkins. That
Oh,
hot
Bernard
streak
Hopkins when he
is
knocked him out of
day.
the ring. Yeah, sorry, that's what it was. Yes, I don't know how I got that,
Yeah, but
but yeah,
uh, to be fair, I'm teeing you up a little bit. I'm guiding you into this one. So,
it's all
did
good,
you see
man.
the press conference before that fight where Bernard Hopkins seemed to eviscerate Joe with
Yeah,
the common man? He's like
yeah,
common special.
Right.
yeah. Well,
What
you
do
know
you
what,
think of
man?
that?
It's it's all talk at the end of the day. You can talk as much as you want, right? And then when you get in the ring, that's when you prove it, right? So Joe Smith did that night. You know, he sent a legend out of the ring, right? So it's all talk until you get in there, right? Like I can say as much things as I want. I got to go out there and prove it. So you know, that's what I'm waiting to do. I want to go. I'm hungrier as ever, man. I want to get right back in there.
I yeah. In Brandon's favor, Raheem, I'm reminded of the Tyson Fury quote, and
Yeah,
it's a little vulgar, as Tyson Fury quotes tend to be.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm running through a
exactly.
whole Rolodex in my mind of vulgar Tyson Fury quotes. Which
There's a
one are
lot
we
of them.
talking about?
He said, I asked Fury before Andy Ruiz had to fight Joshua. I go, Tyson, has he really got any chance? And Tyson goes,
Yeah,
any man with two hands and a beating heartbeat born to his mother's cunt has a chance. Has a chance, mate. You know?
true. Especially in like those bigger divisions, man. It just takes one punch.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you got to get called with that opportunity. Andy Ruiz would have never thought he'd be in that position.
No,
It worked for
never.
Jarrell Miller, New York. Everything had to come to play at the
Exactly.
exact right moment. So when you hear like Bernard Hopkins comments about Common, and you hear a lot of pundits will say you
Absolutely.
can't have two jobs and all this. Do you take some pride in being I don't know if a 9 to 5 worker is the right term, or a
Yeah.
laborer?
I,
Having
I, I do take I do take pride in that. Sorry to cut you off, but I do take pride in that. But also you got to have cash or money to pay for the training, to pay for your diet, for everything, right? So like you're gonna, you know, I would I'd be lying to say, oh yeah, like I'd hate not to work, but you got to pay the bills, and and maybe one day I'll get to a level where I can provide, you know, fighting just as my only income. I would love that, right? But right now, I gotta work, man, and I gotta keep going, right?
There is one fighter for sure that you have a better professional resume as a boxer than, and that is Rico Verhoeven. How do you, you like that, right? How do you like that matchup? And honestly, Brandon, people could scoff, but what would that look like? You feel like in the ring, you against Alexander Usyk? Because
Wow,
it's a
that's a
crazy
big job.
thought.
That's a big job, hey.
Yeah, yeah.
um, I would love to be. I actually model a lot of my style after Usyk. Actually, like I watch a lot of the Ukrainian fighters.
The fainting of the
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. The fainting.
Oh, did we lose Brandon for a second?
I feel like he just got knocked out.
Where's Brandon?
That's a crazy. It's
Yo, he's coming back.
like
Sorry, I am. My wife was calling me. I don't know why. Anyway,
Because she loves you, man. You shouted her
but
out after
Brandon, we
the
saw
fight.
the punch come in. We saw the punch come in. You don't have to hide it, bro. We get it. We've all been there.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, what the Rico thing and Usyk, I would love to fight a guy like Usyk, man. I would love I would love to. That would be a dream come true. To fight a guy like Usyk, but
what gets you there? Not Usyk necessarily, but to the next step. Like if you could say, all right, I need this other piece. I need this thing to happen, or I need this particular gym or whatever it is. If you could
Yeah,
add one piece to your life that takes you to the next level, what's that gonna be?
I would need to, I need to get to the win column again, and I need to fight the best really to get to where I am. That's what I've always pride myself. If you look at my box rack, every fighter that I think I've always been a favorite or an underdog. I think in all my fights, right, I've always fought bigger guys or guys with more experience or whatever. So just keep kind of going the route that I'm doing. I think Champ Promotions and Jason Haidt are doing a great job, but I would love to fight for all those big promoters one day, like Golden Boy, Match, anything like that. So